Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Alec.
And I'm Hannah, and welcome back to another Newlywed Talks.
Yeah, baby.
So today, we kind of wanted to talk about love languages.
Ooh, love for the language.
Yes.
I don't speak it very well.
So, I think I really wanted to talk about this because love languages are super duper important to understand.
Yep. What I'm going to do as she's talking is I'm actually going to look up all the love languages and we will talk about them.
So let's see if I can remember all of them. I at least remember like the big four, I guess. But the common ones that I think everybody should know is, so there's touch, physical touch is a love language.
The 5 love languages.
Quality time with each other. See if I'm right. Acts of service. Words of affirmation or nice things. And then there's a 5th one.
Just give me a second. Sheesh, calm down. Whoa, I'm not done yet.
I talk faster than
You're
you research.
supposed to be smart.
And then, let's see. Man, I do not remember the 5th one.
Okay,
But-
so I don't know what
it.
she said because I wasn't paying attention. I was busy researching. So
Let's
the
see.
5 love languages are 5 different ways of expressing and receiving love, which are words of affirmation, quality time,
Got that one.
receiving gifts,
That one was gifts.
acts of service,
That's
and
one I
physical
forgot.
touch,
There we go.
which all honestly make a lot of sense. So for both of us, we've got different styles.
And also, okay,
all the
just to
time.
preface, love languages can change. Just so you know.
They can change and vary upon
Mhm.
time and day as well as like just age, because there's a lot of I'm a very different example like that, because mine can range from a lot of like physical touch. Sometimes I'm extremely cuddly, sometimes like I am the one that interacts the most with like physical touch.
Mhm.
And other times, because I have like a sensory overload kind of thing, I can't be touched. You know, like it gets to the point where I just get angry if I get touched by anything and everything. So it bounces around a lot for that sense. So I can't necessarily pinpoint my love language anywhere.
It's been really interesting because, so I think everybody has, I think everybody kind of has like your top love language and then a secondary love language and then maybe like a tertiary. Is that the right word?
I
Am
have
using that
no
right?
idea.
The third. So
Number 3.
Number 3.
I only
think-
have 100 words in my vocabulary. You think I'm smart?
I think that everybody kind of has like steps of love languages. So one that is going to be the most important to you, but then other ones that supplement the rest is like, because I don't know. I mean, everybody kind of likes getting presents sometimes, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
But that might be more important to someone than others, right? So
Speaking of which, I think we should go through and try and decide as to what our
what
3
we
are.
I think we should.
Because it's gonna be an interesting kind of thing to think
So
about.
why don't you come along and figure it out for yourself with us? Huh?
Hooray!
So let's read.
So
what
let's
you got.
start with words of affirmation. It's one of those that it's like, oh, I love you. You are the best. You are like very much what I need in my life, and like kind of praise in
Or
a sense.
good job, you've done that so well, or I think you look beautiful today, or
Validation,
and
praise,
all of the
stuff like that.
validation, all of the praise. One thing though is that sometimes love languages can also be they're the easiest way to show someone that you love them, but they're also the easiest way to show someone that you hate them.
Oh yeah.
So like his touch sensory thing. Sometimes that is the best thing that I can do for them, and then other times it's what can make him angry at me. So, with words of affirmation, you could also, if someone's love language is words of affirmation, you can realize, okay, maybe my words will also, if I say this, they probably won't take it well.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Because they're you can tell with some people specifically that like if you tell them, oh, this is really good, this is a good job, and like it's all just praise, you can tell how much more they light up.
Mm-hmm.
And then those are also the same people that if you say, oh, this actually wasn't very good, and like you can even say it in like a softer term, or anything that's even more like on the soft. And even if you're extremely rude about it, you will see their mood drop by quite a bit because it's just that intense, you know? Like, it's like, oh, you didn't like what I did. You didn't like what like I worked on and everything. So you don't love me.
You don't love me. I'm a failure. You don't think I'm good enough. All of those things. So if you see that in yourself,
I'm like, I feel like a lot of people that come from parents not really giving them a whole lot of praise or a whole lot of like good things to say in their life, like kind of verbally abusive parents, if that makes sense, kind of have this more often than other people. Obviously, there's some people that can just grow up with this as their love language, even if they've grown to be like some of the nicest people, maybe, something like that.
They still need that validation. It's really interesting because everyone is so different.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if you really related to that, to those examples of, yes, like feeling that, hearing those words from other people who I love makes me feel so good, maybe words of affirmation is your love language.
Maybe. So now for us, let's do a ranking system. We'll go 1 through 5 instead of finding our top 3. So for words of affirmation, where would you put me?
I would say that's like your 2.
It's like my number 2?
Yeah, it's either 2 or 3 because validation is very important to you, and hurtful words, the way people phrase things can really hurt you. So I think it's 2 or 3. Because I'm also thinking of other love languages that could possibly be your 1 or 2.
Makes sense.
So I think words of affirmation is a 2 or a 3 for you because you need to hear that and see people's reactions towards the things that are important to you. So like your videos and your projects that you work on, when people are validating you and you see that they're excited about what you're excited about too, you love that and you get super excited and you have energy to work on more stuff. And you're proud and you're like, hey, everybody else, look at this. So I think it's 1 or 2 or 3.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty high. What would you say?
Yep.
I would say for you, it'd probably be around a 3 or a 4. I don't know if it's as important as it would be for me, but it's definitely still up toward the higher bits. So I don't think it, we have a little guy knocking at our door.
Gremlin.
But that's probably what I would say. It would be a 3 or a 4 for you.
I think that's right. Because there are days where I need to hear, I love you and you're the best.
But other days she's not fazed by like anything, so it really doesn't matter. So, okay, the next one is quality time. Quality time. I think quality time, for this one specifically, obviously, it's quality time is not just spending time with a person, it's actually bonding when you're with a person. So if you've ever gone on like a date and it's just like, oh, I'm sitting there, I'm going to eat some food and then say, hey, how is your day going? That's not quality time. That's more just like, oh, we're going to just be friends going out on something, you know?
Or just like sitting on your couches, on your phones, not talking to each other. Some people like that, but maybe someone who needs quality time needs more interaction than that.
Thing is, like, even with us sitting on the couch or whatever, I believe that can be quality time as well. Because sometimes just doing nothing with someone is still like the better way to do it. So, because we have our little guy poking his lips underneath the door now. Should we go investigate? No, we're okay.
Okay.
But I think.
So we
You stuck a stick
under his door.
Anyway, back to the topic.
But yeah, so quality time, that is bonding with someone
and actually
being
getting
there.
closer. So it turns friends into best friends. It turns best friends, like if they're obviously like could fall in love, they'd fall in love and stuff like that. But it's usually it's those people that can spend really good quality time together that would be those people that seem like they can be inseparable.
And maybe like within your relationship, that might look like, I'm going to take my significant other out on this fun date because I know they like to go do this and it's just going to be us. And I'm taking time away from work or I'm taking time away from my phone or other people to be with them. Like it could look like that, or it can look like we're going to cuddle on the couch and watch a movie, you know? So it could.
It also depends on how spunky people are.
True. If people need their energy out, go do something fun. Okay, so
rating. I'll start with you this time. Quality time. I think quality time might be your number 2.
Yeah.
I feel like you definitely need to be around people more often.
I do.
And I think you need to make a bond with someone quite often. So she doesn't like to be alone. She doesn't like to, she doesn't necessarily like to not be part of the group and everything. We actually talked about something like this the other day. And so I definitely think this would be like your 2. And I think the words of affirmation might be the 3. So this might be a little bit more important than the words of affirmation.
Ah, okay. I can see that. Yeah. I think my brain goes a little crazy if I'm just by myself.
Yeah.
Now, okay, this is kind of hard for you because I have 2 others in my head that I think are your top 2. But you either have to be alone or you need to be around people. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's a very big, I'm going to say it's either your 3 or your 4.
My 3 or 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then
because I think
you have to now start dialing in a little bit.
Okay, let's see. So I think I think words of affirmation are your 3. No. Oh, wait. Guys, I'm so indecisive. This is hard. I'm really indecisive. Because you need to spend time with people or else you seriously start shutting down. But if you spend too much time with people and you get overloaded with something, you'll get angry and you need time by yourself, kind of a thing. You're like, what are they called? Omniverts?
Yes, that's what I call it. At least I don't know if it's a real thing or not. But
where it's like they need time with people, but they don't have as much energy as extroverts, so they need to be alone sometimes, kind of a thing. I don't know. So I think I'm going to say it's your 4.
Okay, so 3 is words of affirmation and 4 is quality time.
I think that might change.
Okay, it might change, but we'll have to see. Okay, next time is receiving gifts. Receiving gifts, obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory. You get a gift, you like it. Like, the more that people give you, the better. And I know a couple people that this is definitely their love language, where if you give them a gift, they will love you forever. And if you like forget to give them a gift on like their birthday or something, then they're pretty upset.
Because also receiving gifts, I think, can tie into, okay, this person took the time to think of me to either buy this or make this for me, kind of a thing. Or it's like, oh, they gave me cookies today, or oh, they gave me a birthday present on my birthday, kind of a thing. It's it's kind of a consistent thing. Or if you miss a Christmas, it's like, oh, well, I guess you don't care about me because you got them a present, but you didn't give me a present.
Which I think can be a pretty big thing for some people. And obviously, if it's like, if you felt, I feel like this specifically would be something that people would stress out more over if they were never really given a gift or weren't the favorite in like a family or something. Because then you just see somebody else that gets like this pile of gifts and then you get this little thing off to the side. I feel like you'd be a little bit more insecure about that because
I feel like someone is always like, I'm left. Like you might feel neglected maybe after that situation.
I'm not important as this other person, you know, kind of something like that, you know. That's what I feel like receiving gifts would come from, and pretty much what it is. There might be something else involved in there. If you have an option or an idea as to how receiving gifts might work, go ahead and leave us a comment. But anyways,
let's see.
What do you think that is for me?
I think receiving gifts. You know, I think it's your 5.
My 5?
Because
my last. I don't care about gift.
it doesn't mean you don't care.
I don't care about
But
gift.
I think you have a hard time receiving gifts, but you do like them. But sometimes you would rather have someone do something else for you or with you than just give you something that you might not need or use, or it might be gone within a certain amount of time. But I know that you do like it to an extent. Oh, but now I'm rethinking all of my choices.
Well, go through your choices again.
So, because I put words of affirmation at a 3. I put quality time at a 4, and I put gifts at
5. So we got a 3, 4, and a 5. So we don't have a 1 and 2 yet.
Don't have a 1 and 2 yet, because I don't think.
We're gonna keep that there for now.
Yes,
we're gonna leave them in that space.
Maybe by the time we get to 1 and 2, I might mix things up. But that's where we're at.
But now for you, I believe that's also your 5.
Yeah.
I don't think you care too much about gifts as much as pretty much everything else. Because I feel like if you get to go spend more time with people, you'll enjoy that so much more than receiving a gift from them.
Not to say I don't like presents, just saying. But
but they're not your top priority. That's what I think. So for now, I think your second one is definitely quality time. I believe that's what I put. Words of affirmation is your 3. And your last
5.
one, your 5, is going to be the receiving gifts.
We skipped 4. I wonder what's going to be in 4.
But speaking of acts, because I started to say the next thing, acts of service is the next thing that's left.
So acts of service isn't just like, I'm going to go to a charity today. It's
a lot more than that.
It's so much more.
It's like,
it's seeing that the trash needs to be taken out.
So they just do it
doing
without
it
being asked. Or it's like, I wanted to make something for you today that was like food or something. I want to make sure you're fed. I want to make sure that, like, when you come home, if there's something on your mind or something, that I am able to help relieve that.
And that's even just checking in on the person, like, hey, how are you doing? Like, is there anything I can help you with? Doing that, or being like, you know what? I'm going to fold their clothes today. Or, hey, they said that they needed this, so I'm going to go get it for them, kind of a thing. So I think, acts of service can branch into a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. It can branch into like a plethora of stuff. But this also kind of goes along with the last one slightly, if that makes sense.
With the gifts?
Yeah, at least for how I feel like it would be prominent in someone's life. Because it's like, how much do you care about that person to go and do something for them? How important are you to that person to spend time out of your day to go and do something for them instead? You know, that's...
You were listening to my needs and you just fulfilled it.
Exactly. And you didn't even have to listen to my needs. You saw my needs before I had to say anything, and you went and did it. We actually know someone that one's pretty much one of their top ones right now.
That is definitely their number 1.
But it's definitely one of those that it ranges around from the importance of it, I guess, because it is important to do it one way or the other, but sometimes it has more meaning to some people than others. But for you, from my standpoint, I still believe that might be your 4. So
you think that's my 4?
Probably my thing. So we got
more important than gifts, but not as important as saying I love you.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That. I can see that. I definitely... Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that is your number 1.
My number 1?
Yep. Your number 1.
I like to be served.
I think you like
to be taken
care of.
Serve me, wench.
Well, you know what? Never mind.
I would like a new glass of water, please.
Well, go get it yourself.
Fine.
Just kidding. But I think... You even mentioned this at one point, but I also think that when you feel like you are taken care of and that someone is just, they're seeing a need and they're fulfilling it and it's for you, that you feel loved. I think at least you feel like you're brighter, and also you're more loving after that too. You give more too. So I think it's your number 1. Because also sometimes you don't like to do things. And even if I don't like to do them, the fact that I do them for you, I think you appreciate that. So,
I can be lazy sometimes. So I could probably agree with that one. That might be my top. For you, I think it might be your second.
Acts of service?
Yeah.
Didn't we say it was my number 4?
It is number 4. No, that's right. No, you're okay.
Wait.
I'm throwing this.
We have 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Second out of quality time. No, receiving gifts and acts of service. That's your second one. So I think I'm gonna have to switch 4 and 5.
Oh, you want to switch 4 and 5?
Yes.
You think receiving gifts is above acts of service?
Yes.
Ooh. So we have words of validation. No, quality time. Words of validation. Affirmation. Receiving gifts and then acts of service.
So I'm the one that switched so far. That's my 2 through 5 for you. Because
Sorry, keep going.
Because I definitely believe that if I were to make something for you, you'd probably feel more like loved in that sense than just me going and being like, oh, I made your bed for you.
I mean, I love it when like you grab the laundry or something like that and you do that for me or whatever. Like, I love it when you do those things, but
it just doesn't seem like it's as personal to you as...
I think gifts are more personal to me than acts of service.
Yeah, so I'm going to switch those 2 and make that one the one.
And let's see. I have your number 1, which is acts of service. I don't have your number 2 yet. And then I said words of affirmation is your 3, and then your 4 was quality time, and your 5 was gifts, or was it the other way? I think it was 4 was quality time and 5 was gifts. Man, we should have written this down. My brain's all over the place.
I don't know.
But I haven't changed yet.
So the last one, which I think we already kind of talked about a little bit, physical touch.
Yes.
Physical touch. And that is obviously, I think Hannah's number 1. Because obviously physical touch is the cuddling, the touching, the loving,
but it's also
like
just
kisses on
like
the forehead, the soft little things, just like holding your hand when you're out in public and stuff like that.
Or like putting your hand on their back or on their side, or just like leaning your head on their shoulder or letting them do that.
Just a connection between the skin. So in any which way or form.
Yes.
That is definitely Hannah's number 1. She is very much a touchy, lovey kind of person. So
very cuddly. I think that's your number 2. Because it is very important to you. But as we got married, I think physical touch was your number 1. But when we got married and we were together all the time, it was still personal. But when you felt like you were being taken care of and didn't have to do everything yourself, that became your priority and that became more personal to you than just physical touch.
Little backstory to that though. Hannah's definitely a lot better of this now, but I think it changed because of how we first started out, because I was never her number 1. Not when we first started out. I was like maybe her 3rd option more often than not.
Guys, you don't know how oblivious I am.
Yeah.
I'm a huge people pleaser, and I think we should dive into this. Like seriously dive into this in another video. But I always made him feel like throughout our relationship, I always made him feel like he was the 3rd or 2nd, 4th choice.
Yeah, because there was always an option or a choice that she had to make where it was either me or something else. And probably 3 out of 5 times she would choose something else. So I'm like, okay, well, that just means you don't want to be around me. What is that supposed to mean? Kind of something like that. And I think that's what helped change mine from physical touch to acts of service, because now I feel like the more that she's focusing more exactly on me, the more that she actually loves me and the more that she's actually putting me as her first priority. So I think that's the cause of me at least switching around personally. I think she's always been physical touch though as her number 1.
I think I'm gonna switch one of mine. I think I'm switching gifts and quality time. I think gifts is above quality time. For you.
Fair enough. Okay, so what do we got? So for you, I have number 1 is physical touch by far. Number 2 is, did I put quality time there, I think? No. Yes, I did.
You did? I thought it was words of affirmation. No, that was my 3.
Yeah, your words of affirmation.
Quality time is number 2.
Quality time is 2. Words of affirmation is 3. Receiving gifts is 4. And acts of service is 5. I think that's her list from 1 to 5.
I think you pegged me pretty well. I don't know if I pegged you though. I don't know if I got So for you, acts of service is number 1. Physical touch, number 2. Words of affirmation is number 3. Nope, I'm making a big switch. Okay. No, I'm gonna surprise you.
Surprise!
Quality time is number 3.
Quality time is number 3.
Mm-hmm. Words of affirmation is number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then gifts is number 5. I think that's how it is.
Interesting.
Yep.
I guess I don't know myself as well as I thought.
I think that's how it is for you.
It's very possible.
Because words of affirmation is still very important to you. But I think you also, like, you don't want to be left behind. And you want to be around people. And you also want to be the one that people come to as well. Like, you want people to want to be around you because you want to be around other people. And so
that is true. That is true. I know lately there was one time when it was like, oh, I can't go to this one activity that everyone else is going to because I've had something planned, which later I found out that it was pushed back and I could have gone to this thing. And I was pretty upset over that. Because I'm like, I would have had fun. I would have loved to go there. And I really wanted to go there. But with everything planning out, it was just not
it got messed
able
up.
It just didn't seem like I was going to be able to. Like, you know, I was supposed to be setting up stuff. I was supposed to be getting stuff ready to record something that I was part of and everything. And it was just, it didn't work out. And I was pretty upset for well over a day. I think it was almost 2 days. I was pretty upset over that. So I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I think that just feels better to me. I think I figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to write this down, though, or else I'm going to forget.
That's love languages for you, though. I mean, love languages are definitely something that takes a while to learn and can change quite a bit, especially during your like priorities and stuff that we'll have to figure out what is the best thing for you during the time.
But I think you should definitely take the time, especially with your significant other, and figure out
do what we just did.
Yeah,
try and figure it out. Try and see what the other person thinks, and also like talk with each other and be like, I actually feel like I would like this a little bit more than that, and then that way they might change their viewpoint as well.
Also, I think you should talk about how you give naturally, because along with having like everybody has a little bit of that love language, but some are more important to a person than others. Everybody also has a giving language that I think lines up with the love languages, but I don't know if we have time to talk about that right now.
Not necessarily, but I do think that
maybe figure that out too, so you can both learn that, oh, when that person does that thing, even though it's not personal to me, that they are trying to show me that they love me, but also when that person gives to me in my love language, they're really trying to show me that they love me.
Oh yeah. So
but yeah,
feel free to do that. And if you guys have a really interesting like layout, or if you have another love language that you feel like you're more of that we didn't talk about today, we would like to know about it, because obviously there are so many different love languages and so many different like things that people really feel more than others. And we're curious. We genuinely are. So if you have something that might be something that we've never heard or something we didn't talk about today, write it down somewhere. Write it in the comments. Write it in like, I don't know, a Facebook post, tweet us, whatever, something like that.
Email us, like message us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Please do it, because we want to learn and we want to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, thank you for coming along on this little ride with us. Thanks for figuring out our love languages with us, and we hope that you were able to have fun and do that activity as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have a fantastic day.
Goodbye.
Bye.